You think you know how democracy started. You think a few brave Greeks just woke up one day and decided everyone should have a vote. But that is not what happened. Here is the catch. The birth of the free world was not sparked by an ideal. It was forced upon Greece by the world's most terrifying superpower. Think of it this way. We love the story of the underdog. We watch movies about the few standing against the many. We see Athens as this perfect white marble cradle of freedom. But it is a myth. The truth is much darker. It is a story of blood, bribes, and betrayal. I have spent years digging through the ancient dust of this transition. The text shows us a world where politicians did not care about freedom. They cared about survival. If you want to understand why our modern world is so divided, you have to look at this moment. By the end of this video, you will see ancient history in a completely new light. You will look at your own government differently too. Now, why does this matter? Because classical Greece was not born in a vacuum. It was forced into existence inside a Persian-fired hothouse. Without the massive threat of the Persian Empire, the Greek world we know would never have existed. The status quo did not shift because people got smarter. It shifted because they were terrified. Let us look at how the dominoes actually started to fall. It all started with a murder. The year was 514 BC. Athens was ruled by a tyrant named Hippias. Two men from the elite class, Harmodios and Aristogeiton, decided to kill the ruler's brother, Hipparchos. The people later sang songs about these two. They called them the ultimate tyrant slayers. They built statues of them. But here is the problem. The murder did not stop the tyranny. It just made Hippias paranoid and angry. He locked down the city. Then a rival faction called the Alcmaeonidae stepped in. They wanted power, so they bribed the famous Delphic oracle. They told the oracle to tell Sparta to free Athens. Sparta was the heavy muscle of the Greek world. The Spartan king Cleomenes launched 4 campaigns in 4 years against Athens. He broke the siege by capturing the tyrant's children. Hippias packed his bags and left. Sparta did not do this to create a democracy. They did it to pull Athens into their own alliance network. But it gets worse. A political vacuum followed the tyrant's departure. 2 elite men, Isagoras and Cleisthenes, fought for control. Isagoras won the high election. Cleisthenes was desperate, so he did something no elite Greek had ever done before. He turned to the common people. He promised them a say in the government if they backed him. It was a gamble. Isagoras panicked and called his Spartan buddy, King Cleomenes, back into Athens. They exiled Cleisthenes and 700 families. They tried to set up a small ruling council. That is when the unexpected happened. The Athenian crowd did not hide. They rose up in a massive popular riot. They cornered the Spartan king on the Acropolis. They forced the mighty Spartans to surrender and leave. The people recalled Cleisthenes. A popular movement was born, motivated by an issue, not just loyalty to a man. Now, how did Cleisthenes fix this broken system? He broke up the old regional factions. He took the map of Attica and divided it into 10 new tribes. Each tribe had to take men from the coast, the inland, and the city. He forced rivals to mix. He created a new council of 500. Every single village, or deme, got a guaranteed seat based on its size. He created a system where every citizen had to participate. This new model army went to work fast. The Boeotians and Chalcidians attacked Athens. The new citizen army crushed them. They captured 700 enemies and ransomed them for huge silver fortunes. They planted 4,000 Athenian settlers on enemy land. This victory unlocked a strange new military confidence. The Greek historian Herodotus noted that when citizens worked for a tyrant, they let themselves get defeated. But once they were freed, every single man was keen to do the deed for himself. Equality of speech made them lethal. But let us look closer at the dark side of this new freedom. To keep the peace, Athens created ostracism. Once a year, citizens could write a politician's name on a piece of broken pottery. The man with the most votes was kicked out of the city for 10 years. It sounded fair, but it quickly became a weapon for elite family feuds. If a politician argued for a foreign policy you did not like, you just labeled him a Persian sympathizer and got him banned. And look at what happened to women. In the old days, elite women had massive, informal political power through family connections. Democracy ruined that. Athens became the least generous place for women's rights in the whole Greek world. They could not own property. They could not speak in court. They were locked away in the home while men shouted about freedom in the assembly. This brings us back to the real catalyst: Persia. While Athens was experimenting with votes, the Persian Empire was conquering everything from Egypt to Afghanistan. They ruled through local governors called satraps. The system offered massive opportunities for ambitious Greeks. Greek doctors, craftsmen, and builders flocked to the Persian capital of Persepolis for wealth. Even elite Greeks used Persian backing to set themselves up as tyrants back home. In 499 BC, the Greek cities in Ionia revolted against Persia. It was a massive gamble led by Aristagoras of Miletos. He had failed a Persian military mission and knew he was dead meat. So, he suddenly preached popular rule, threw out the other tyrants, and begged the mainland Greeks for help. Athens sent 20 ships. They marched to Sardis and accidentally burned down a major Persian temple. The Persian revenge was horrific. They crushed the Ionian fleet at the Battle of Lad. They marched into Miletos, killed the men, sold the women and children into slavery, and burned the temples to ash. The Persian king Darius swore vengeance on Athens for their intervention. The Persian threat changed the rules of the game for mainland Greece. Look at the rivalry between Athens and Aegina. They had raided each other's coasts for years over local pride. But when Aegina offered tokens of submission to Persia, Athens freaked out. They called Sparta to discipline Aegina. The fear of Persian dominance forced these fractured cities to act together. A brilliant Athenian politician named Themistocles saw the storm coming. In 493 BC, he fortified the harbor at Piraeus. Then, in 483 BC, Athens struck a massive vein of silver in their mines. Most citizens wanted to split the cash. Themistocles said no. He used the fear of their local enemy, Aegina, to convince them to build 100 advanced warplanes of the ancient world, triremes. This changed the economic investment of warfare forever. It required 20,000 men to crew them. The poor rowers suddenly became the backbone of Athenian survival. The Second Persian invasion hit in 480 BC. Xerxes marched an army so massive it drank rivers dry. The Greeks tried to hold the pass at Thermopylae. A local Greek named Ephialtes betrayed them, showing the Persians a mountain path to surround the Spartans. The Spartans died to a man. The Persians marched south and burned Athens to the ground. But the new Athenian navy was waiting at Salamis. Themistocles used trickery to lure the massive Persian fleet into the narrow straits. The heavy Persian ships crowded together and smashed into each other. The Greeks destroyed them. The next year, a unified Greek army finished the job on land at Plataea. Here is the twist. The moment the danger passed, the myth-making began. The Greeks claimed they won because of pure unity and love for freedom, but their records tell a different story. The famous Serpent Column at Delphi lists the cities that fought. Dozens of Greek cities are missing. Many collaborated with Persia. The Greeks spent the next 100 years accusing each other of cowardice and treachery during the war. The conflict did not unite Greece. It just gave them new reasons to hate each other. Athens used its new naval prestige to build an empire of its own. They turned from a liberated city into a tyrant state, taxing their neighbors to fund their democracy. The elite lifestyle did not change. They still drank in private clubs, but now the poor rowers demanded a voice because they had saved the city from the barbarian. The true origin of democracy is not a clean story of political triumph. It was an accidental byproduct of geopolitical terror and elite survival. If you want to see exactly how this toxic rivalry between Athens and Sparta eventually tore the ancient world apart, click on this next video right here. We break down the real causes of the Peloponnesian War. See you there.